It's weekend 7 of the QuidFit British Touring Car Championship around the 1.27 mile Knockhill circuit here in Scotland. Welcome to rounds 19, 20 and 21 of this amazing championship as we get ready for qualifying to begin shortly. Well, hello everybody and welcome up to the commentary box. Myself and Josh T alongside you for qualifying commentary here for weekend number 7 of this year's touring cars. A championship that saw 3 very dramatic races back at Croft 2 weeks ago. And here right now, it should be even more exciting. At the moment, the Minis have just got into their paddock after their opening session as well. JT's with me quickly as well. Hi Josh, well here we go then.
Hello.
I should have been there in Scotland. Kind of glad I'm not, because I've been told it's absolutely freezing and very windy up there, so the tripods have been all over. But it has been interesting. The wind's blowing a gale, so also the phone signal's not great, so maybe not too bad I've missed this one. But we will be at the season finale at Brands Hatch. We're going to get that sorted in a few weeks' time. But conditions are very, very blustery. A high of a 23-mile-an-hour wind, and it's been consistent all throughout the day. It's very, very windy out there.
Yep, and that is literally Knockhill in a nutshell. It's on top of a hill in the middle of nowhere, so it's got its own microclimate. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I had my own microclimate where it was bright sunshine and it was fog, and they had to cancel the meeting 5 races in. And you can see that on members, 24th of July, I think it is. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. The JB members video is getting uploaded as well. So it's windy, and I'm glad I'm not there because it would have been ridiculous. But let's hear what Louise Goodman and Harvey have to say about all the situation.
Atmosphere here in Scotland. Obviously it's the only race we do up here each year, but the crowd are so knowledgeable, so enthusiastic. We've been coming here, well, ever since '92 when we had the first BTCC race, but Knockhill itself is celebrating the anniversary. It was 1974, I think, the circuit opened, so it's a big event.
We've just headed past Napa. They've been looking good so far. Dan Rowbottom, quickest in both the sessions. How do you see their chances this weekend, both Dan and the whole team? Because Dan Cam has been going well. He's on this fantastic run of consistency. Ash, not so good last time out at Croft.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the championship's been a topsy-turvy. We've had 3 changes of championship lead in the last few races. Tom Ingram, from going into Croft 4 points behind Jake Hill, came out 21 points in front. Ash Sutton, who was leading earlier, finds himself in 3rd place with some work to do. But yeah, the cars are looking very strong. Dan Rowbottom, of course, has got the full 15 seconds of hybrid allocation to use, which actually just using 15 seconds round Knockhill is not easy, but there's a few really good places to use it, like coming out of the final hairpin uphill, so a power increase of sort of 30 to 40 horsepower is a big advantage there. So he's got to be a strong favourite for a qualifying on pole. But it's just a case of where Ash Sutton, Tom Ingram and those with less hybrid can also qualify.
Traditionally, this has been a rear-wheel drive track, hasn't it?
Certainly in race terms it has been. I think 11 out of the last 18 or 19 race wins have all been rear-wheel drive cars. But as we've seen else at other tracks, you know, front-wheel drive cars are still going to take wins. Ash Sutton himself has had a win and a second at the last 2 years, so he's going to be anxious to get a lot of points.
One of the classic views of this circuit is the cars leaping over the curbs down at the bottom of the track. They've made a few changes there. What difference is that going to make, and why have they made them, first of all?
Well, they're trying to stop the cars using all 4 wheels over the inside, and it's a case of they're new curves, and the drivers in free practice have been experimenting to see just how greedy they can be. But we're in for some spectacular shots there, and the guy that can get through that chicane fastest and straightest we'll make up a lot of time.
And as people can tell from my own personal wind sock that's going on here, it's not just windy, it's really gusty. That's going to have an impact, isn't it?
Yeah, the wind at the moment is behind the drivers coming up the long straight. That's to their advantage. But where they're turning into turn one, Duffers, and turning into Clark, it could hurt them. So they could get a lot of understeer there for some cars. They may be changing their setups, but a gusty wind is definitely not what you want.
Top tip for qualifying, who's your money on?
I'm going to have to go with Dan Rowbottom.
Would be nice to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, yeah.
All will be revealed.
Thank you very much, Lou. And we can see that the drivers are currently getting ready to go to the end of the pit lane to start their qualifying session. And the one thing, JT, that we're all sort of keeping an eye on here is exactly what everybody's fearing. Is the fact is that the conditions here can change on the flick of a coin, and that's the real problematic. And it's going to be even better because we've got the group system of qualifying. Group 1 will see Dan Rowbottom, Andrew Watson, Aaron Taylor-Smith, Aidan Moffat, Rob Huff, Mikey Doble, Dan Camish, Sam Osborne, Scott Sumton, Darrell de Jong. They finished in odd numbers in FP2. The even numbers will go out in Group 2. That's Ash Sutton who finished second, then Tom Ingram, Colin Turkington, Chris Smiley, Josh Cook, Ronan Pearson, Tom Chilton, Adam Morgan, Jake Hill, and Nick Holstead. So it's odds first, even second. And that second group could really have the problematic ones going because it's two groups, 10 minutes each. Then the top 6 from each get going in a fast 12. Top 6 from that session going to the fast 6 to determine the pole sitters. It should take about an hour. It's an interesting system, and it's going to be one that we all have to keep an eye on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely one to keep an eye on. And don't mind me, I've just realised how busy my next week is.
Well, to be fair, JT, this is the first time we've spoken in 2 weeks because we were, in fact, yeah, since Croft 2 weeks ago. Because last week it was just MotoGP. Next week it's just MotoGP.
We'll have to catch up after the podcast.
We will, and have a God knows how long of a conversation tomorrow evening with the race. Is it tomorrow or today? It's a Sunday race, isn't it, for NASCAR? So it's tomorrow, yeah.
It's a Sunday night race, so it ends Monday morning.
Yes, starts at 11 o'clock, and our transmission starts then, yeah. I think actually green flag is 1 minute past 11, so I don't know what they are going to do with the NBC broadcast, so we'll keep an eye on that. The session is about to start, 10 minutes on the clock. We are slightly delayed. Go on.
I believe my TV on Premier Sports starts 10:30 with the pre-race show, because they kind of start, sometimes join the pre-race like halfway through.
Perfect, so we'll be on air then at 10:30 tomorrow. Let's transfer over to the commentary box as our systems are engaged and ready for the first qualifying session. So this is qualifying for round 19 season, part 1, group 1. Conditions look okay out there. Watch out, of course, for the turn 5-6, the chicane at the top to jump over. See how many can go 2 wheels across this thing. And I think this is actually the first touring car qualifying I've done in quite a while, because I never usually hear them. So this is quite fun, actually, to get me back into touring car qualifying.
You're coming into my area, touring car qualifying.
Yeah, no, it's been a chaotic couple of weeks, isn't it? Where Saturday's always...
And then you'll jump into my area once again, touring car race 2.
Yes, touring car race 2. I can see all 3. Slightly worried when we miss race 2 at Donington Park and nobody's there. So I think it's Jess might step in for that one alongside Omi, if that's the case. We'll see who's around. Probably Jess and Nick, thinking about it for that.
That's 25th of August, isn't it?
Donington Park Grand Prix 2 weeks' time. Yeah. Green lights on.
That's another thing that I need to talk with you about after this broadcast.
Oh, I've already set up everything ready on the other one, so we're fine for the practice sessions. Qualifying, I know there's a thing as well, so yeah. Let's hope Jess is around, otherwise Omi's going to have a busy day. Green flag is out. We're underway here at Knockhill then for qualifying. And the BMW's not heading out there at the moment, but first out there on the circuit, Darrell de Jong, Scott Sumton, Doble, Taylor Smith, Moffitt, Watson, Huff, Osborne, Camish and Rowbottom. They go out, of course. The BMWs, some of them could have been in this session, but of course they get split up, so 10-10. So we see the BMWs out in Group 2 later on. So we get 4 independents and 6 manufacturer drivers in this session, including the 3 Fords. Going out, 3 of the 4 Fords, as soon as they're going out. Sutton goes out Group 2. And 3 of the 4 Toyotas, the 2 factories, Watson and Huff, and then the independent of Moffitt. Josh Cook, of course, going out later. And we're on board, actually, with Aidan Moffitt as he comes up through Clark's.
Yep, and then down in towards his lots, and then into the braking zone of the Taylor's hairpin goes the number 16. And up the hill, across the line, doesn't pit, continues for a second installation lap. So does the 2 Toyotas. Of course, it depends whether you're front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive if you pit on the first lap. Here is Darrell de Leon going through the chicane, and I was going to send you this. I don't think I did, but it was Darrell de Leon's birthday recently. He got a card, and it was a picture of him on the phone at the test day at Donington Park, and a speech bubble saying, "Where's my present?"
It was the joke of the entire... I've been saying it throughout the broadcast. Throughout this year on the touring cars. It was the joke of the entire test day, was the fact that Darrell de Jong was literally stood at the back of the paddock on his phone the entire day. Honestly, the entire day. I felt quite bad for him, actually. I had a chat with him at one point as well. I felt really bad as well because I couldn't remember Darrell de Jong at the time, because he had last year when he was in the touring cars in one of the stages later on in the season. You remember he wildcarded. He had long hair, so to see him with really short hair this year at the test day, it threw me completely. But his girlfriend and his mum were there as well, watching on. Installation laps complete then. 58.777 at the moment for Darrell de Jong. But it is, remember, that it's a 52-second lap, what Rowbottom did this morning. Dan Rowbottom topped both practice sessions, if you were watching with us. The first session started off on a wet track, and then a dry line appeared, and I thought Rowbottom, he's just at the top because he put slicks on at the end. No, it really is impressive that he was able to top FP2. So he's one to watch as we see the restart racing of Scott Sumton, a friend, of course, of the channel, who's always up for a word and up for a chat. I did actually get a message off Scott on Thursday saying, would I still be here? I had to say no. So he's arranging for something proper for us to do at Brands Hatch as well for conversation. So we'll have another interview with Scott at Brands Hatch at the end of the year to see how his first full season of British touring car action has been. So that's fun. You're going to be there, JT, as well, actually. We're all going to be on site. Even Jess is going to be there at the end of the year.
Yep, I should be there. I think we're getting tickets in September.
Same as me, yeah. So then I booked the hotel and get everything sorted. I'm really sorry, by the way, if you have the hotel room next to me, anybody, because I will be commentating on MotoGP races during the night, which is going to be a little bit awkward. But we'll see. Megan's going to be in this commentary box commentating, and I'll be with probably an iPad and that lot on the headset commentating from a hotel room on the rest of it. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend of action for that one, and I'm hopeful at that point as well we'll have somebody else stepping in as emergency lead commentator if my signal goes down. Megan can do it, but someone to control things on team viewers as well. Either that, JT, or you bring your laptop and your equipment, we'll just do it like that.
I hopefully have the screen repaired on my old laptop.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But then again, I have just spent 107 quid, so... Yeah.
So I spent £150 on an iMac as well. It's one of the best investments we made. Basically, as soon as we knew, because basically you needed a 5 million investment to get here to Knockhill, because it doesn't class as a UK round of the championship, a British round. It classes international because it's Scotland. So I couldn't get the 5 million. That time cancelled for the number 29 as well of Scott Sumter for track limits. So Darrell de Jong goes to the top and Osborne's going through as well on a much faster lap time. So yeah, so that's why we're not in Scotland. 5 million was needed, whereas you don't need that for the end of the year in the touring cars. That's going to be a lot of fun. A little bit of rain drop there, JT, down the first corner. So sunshine at one end as we come into the bottom of the hill at McIntyre's, but it just doesn't looking. It looks a bit thingy, doesn't it, with raindrops coming as we come into Taylor's hairpin.
Yeah, it does, and it just changes just with a click of the fingers.
Over the line, Doble goes second. Moffitt now goes second. Darrell de Jong. This is mega impressive from Darrell de Jong to go top here. Lap time cancelled again on the computer. Track limits at turn 7. That's put Taylor Smith down. Rowbottom goes third. Rob Huff goes top. 51.512. Lock up from Taylor Smith coming into Taylor's hairpin. Gets the accelerator down on the Vauxhall. For the Evans Horseshaw Powermax Racing, the PMR squad over the line without any hybrid power, and he goes top now with the 51.301. Much better lap time from him as he comes down towards the first corner.
Down the hill and up towards McIntyre's, and then through Butcher's and the Black Circle chicane, and we pick up Osborne, who's going down towards Clark. And then we cut to Huff, who is about to complete a lap with just under 3 minutes gone. Locks up into the Taylor's hairpin, still gets it turned up the hill. 3.9 seconds of hybrid left. He'll use that across the line. And what is the lap time? It's a 51.472. Stays fourth, improves on time, not position.
More track limits at Clark's at turn 7. This time it's been, hang on, with 2 deleted. Dan Camish had his lap time deleted, but also for Darrell de Jong.
Gravel.
Oh, and
Darrell de Leon's just been off, Josh.
And that's the reason for the track limits that just flashed up immediately on our computer monitor. Running wide at turn 6, that's the exit of the chicane section. Wind's picking up, and I swear I can see raindrops as well. It's quite hard to tell. The camera's shaking so much under the pressure of the wind, it's hard to see. But that wind also, JT, with it blowing in from the west, it's a headwind to the last corner. First of all, this is Darrell de Jong over the chicane. 2 wheels and almost tips over. Wow. 2 wheels, top of the hill, turn 6, JT, and straight to the gravel on 2 wheels.
I'm surprised we don't see that more, to be fair.
Well, brand new curbs here this weekend at the 5-6 chicane at the top of the hill. So they've tried to reduce the bounce effect across them, but it doesn't always work, especially if you hit them with the right angle. A lot of moisture on the camera lens. It is raining out there now at the first corner. It's only a small track here, so the wind and rain will start picking up. Lap time cancelled as well for Sam Osborne now. That's dropped him down into 9th place. Rowbottom looking a bit improving in the other Napa, but Watson's got the top time, 51.277 with 21 thousandths of a second. It's a short track here, JT, just over on 1.2 miles, as I said earlier on at the introduction, but it's raining at turn 1 and it's sunny at the last corner. In a one straightaway, it's 2 different weather conditions.
Yep, and even though it's such a short track, that still happens. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to find that birthday card that I mentioned.
Find it, you've got time. Down to McIntyre's and then up the hill into the chicane. Rowbottom jumping, nearly hitting the barrel. He too gets on 2 wheels. You might notice as well that the Napa has got the Scottish Highlanders, you know, the I can't remember the word of it now as well, going through it as well, but it's bearing the tribute of Jackie Stewart and the Racing for a Cure for Dementia. The Race Against Dementia is the brand run by Paul Stewart and Sir Jackie Stewart. Of course, course, with Jackie's wife Helen suffering from it, as I'm getting information in my ear that we've got more that times being deleted. Rowbottom comes across the line. Camera's shaking so much we can barely see the car come across the line. The wind's so bad here. Huff goes into 5th position as the checkered flag comes out now in the first session. Anybody else going to improve or have any differences? Doble comes into the pit lane. He's 6th. So at the moment in the cut-off, it's Rowbottom, De Jong, Osborne and Sumpton. They've got to be on the cusp. Sumpton doesn't go through. He stays in 10th position. Dan Rowbottom is looking okay in the first sector. Darryl De Jong in that middle sector is fastest of anybody at 19.944. Watson goes top. Taylor Smith goes 3rd. Rowbottom's got a bit of traffic coming into that last corner as well. Kicks up some dust as well. That's coming out from the back of his own teammate. Darryl De Jong goes into 5th. Rowbottom comes across the line, goes into 4th. And Dan Camish goes 5th. De Jong will go through. Huff and Osborne left. Huff hasn't done it. Is Osborne going to do anything about it? No. Osborne stays 9th. So Darryl De Jong gets through. Fantastic for the independent driver in the Cupra. That is absolutely fantastic news. Once again this season, that car proving it has pace in qualifying. But it is Watson, Doble, Taylor Smith, Rowbottom, Camish and De Jong go through. Huff, Moffat, Osborne, Sumpton go out, JT.
That is really good to see Darryl De Leon get through. He went to 5th, but then got knocked down to 6th, but it's the top 6 who go through. And this is really annoying me, because I know I screenshotted it on either my phone or my laptop, and I cannot see it anywhere. So I've gone to where I thought I saw it, and I've searched Darryl De Leon's name. I cannot find it, even though it was posted by the official Darryl De Leon account.
Well, we'll find it, but for right now, let's head over to the race controls.
Use this because they knew that there were going to be people that would lose out, and as I say, the losers out of this: Rob Huff, Aidan Moffat, Sam Osborne, and also Scott Sumpton. This is the order then. Andrew Watson the fastest at the end of that part of qualifying, with Mikey Doble 2nd quickest, Aaron Taylor Smith 3rd, Dan Rowbottom 4th, 5th Dan Camish, and Darryl De Leon makes it through as well. He is 6th quickest. Out, therefore, Rob Huff, Aidan Moffat, Sam Osborne and Scott Sumpton. So we expected it to be a very interesting session, and it is proving so to be, as getting a replay here. Aidan Moffat's on board. That was Darryl De Leon going through, and I think this is his two-wheeling moment, isn't it? Way up on the curb and crash landing into the gravel.
But fair play to him, he came back from that big moment to set the fastest middle sector of anybody. So he certainly learned the quick route through that chicane.
Absolutely right.
Disaster, and a great shame for Aidan Moffat. Home race, don't forget, him and Ronan Pearson, the two homeboy favourites. He'll be very disappointed. Will young Aidan, that's for sure. A little debrief with the team, and we'll follow. And well, that's it for today. But good news is he can save from tyres.
Indeed so.
A few better tyres for tomorrow, as Group 2 is already on the way out.
It is indeed. Right, so this is going to determine the next 6 out of the 10 that go through, and frustrated drivers now having to sit and watch. So it'll take a lap or two before relevant times start to come out of this second part of Group 1. Ash Sutton there making his way out on track. Remember, it's Sutton, Ingram, Turkington, Smiley, Cook, Pearson, Chilton, Morgan, Hill, Halstead in this 10, based on the finishing order from the second free practice session. So up towards the chicane goes Ash Sutton, and then accelerates down towards Clark's. But a couple of laps, then we'll anticipate 1 or 2 cars to come in. The BMWs then, who've all got themselves into this second group, we anticipate should stay out.
Yep, they will definitely stay out. Take them 3 or 4 laps to actually get their tyres all up to the right temperature and pressure. You have to build it quite carefully when you're not swapping tyres over. The rear-wheel drive cars obviously don't need to, because they can accelerate the rear tyres and they can steer and brake on the front to gradually warm the tyres up together, whereas the front-wheel drive cars, stating the obvious, the rear-wheel drive is just freewheeling around, so not so easy to get temperature into them, which is why they cost them in the first place.
So away we go then, in for the second session. And it is Holstead, Pearson, Sutton, Turkington, Cook, Morgan, Hill, Smiley, Ingram and Chilton as a reminder. And I think JT as well, what an opener we had there. And this second session is going to be even better.
Yeah, absolutely. Ronan Pearson, the other local driver to Scotland in this round, and we jump on board with him going down towards, I believe, the Taylor's hairpin. Yep. Into the braking zone.
Just keeping it nice and cool at the moment as we've sorted out our timing tower from a few issues. So Holstead, Pearson, Sutton, Turkington, Cook, Morgan, Hill, Smiley. Pearson does a 59.3, but these are banker lap times that all come back in. And I must admit, I'm not a fan of this new qualifying format. I much preferred the half-an-hour blast around to get it all sorted. This doesn't. It takes too long now. Hill 55.305. He goes fastest at the moment as he comes down in towards turn 1. Jake Hill starting his 250th appearance in the British Touring Car Championship in race 1 tomorrow. Still, I think he will be changing to the number 250 for tomorrow's race. But yeah, 250 races. And I think JT, with multiple victories this year, definitely wants to take one here in Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. As it's purple sector 1 for Jake Hill down towards the hairpin.
Yeah, Turkington is a 54.101. Hill still weaving to get tyre temperature up. 3 BMWs, a Hyundai, a Toyota, 3 BMWs, 4 Hyundais, 1 Cupra, 1 Ford and 1 Toyota are in this session in total. As they fly once again, Morgan 54.051, 50 thousandths of a second back is Turkington in second, Hill third, Pearson fourth, Cook fifth, Sutton sixth. Drop zone sees Ingram, Chilton, Smiley and Holstead. Reminder they've yet to set their fastest times with 5:50 to go. So they've still got to push hard. They still have to find momentum as a bit of sun glistens over the hills. Track temperature is at 19 degrees, air temperature 15. Turkington does the first bencher at real speed, 51.746. Morgan responds, 52.214, half a second down on the overall best. Hill 53.829. They're still building time up there. Turkington should have the overall speed.
And hopefully does have the overall speed. Purple sector 1 up the hill at the black circle. Chicane gets on 2 wheels but keeps it on the track. And up towards the hairpin he goes. It's a purple sector 2 as well into the braking zone. Doesn't lock up, gets it turned and goes up across the line. He's got a Bristol Street Motors of Ingram on the inside line. He goes on the outside. Doesn't impede, does Ingram, and it's a 51.396. Stays top, clear by 0.8 of a second.
Oh, and 2 wheels to turn 1 as well, down towards McIntyre's and Butcher's. And Turkington, as you said, JT, 51.396. He won't be improving this lap with his 1-wheel traction he had. BMW, of course, with the front-wheel drive action cars on these. 1 wheel does not really drive the car through, so he's lost a lot of time. Let's see that again. Look at 2 wheels coming down the hill. He would have come down with an awesome smack as well. Did he touch the gravel, the exit? Don't know, didn't see back. Here's Tom Ingram, championship leader. Champion, of course, in 2022. Has a chance to become champion again. It'll go down to Brands Hatch, so we will crown a champion trackside. And I'm very excited about that, because if Tom Ingram does win the championship, he'll prove that I'm sort of a good luck curse. Improving ever so slightly again. Morgan second, Ingram still in P7. Ronan Pearson's got up to second place, JT. A remarkable time in that Hyundai. 51.609. 2/10 off the pace. Cook goes 5th. Track's evolving all the time and changing all the time. This is what we're trying to understand as well and see the difference between. Holstead goes 6th. Taylor Smith 5th. No. Down to 7th now. Ingram's estimated to go P5, up from P8 at the moment. See if that actually happens on the computer. Colin Turkington improves to a 51.109, exactly half a second faster than Pearson. The computer was right, and Ingram goes into 5th. And now 6th as Sutton goes up to 2nd. So the usual protagonist, the title fighter up there as Chilton gets his way through. That pushes out Ingram, his own teammate at Bristol Street Motors. Wow! And Hill goes 3rd. All changing again. Here's Aaron Taylor-Smith. Jumping over, still looking a little bit out of it. Turkington, Sutton, Hill. Smiley goes 6th. So Chilton drops down to 8th position. Holstead goes to 10th. Race control. Smiley's lap 6 time has been deleted for track limits. So Smiley has dropped down to 10th position. And Morgan now promoted back into the fast 12. Interesting. This is, of course, still Q1, part 2 of it. Q2 up shortly. Now Sutton goes up and Hill goes up as well, so it's Turkington Chilton 2nd now. Sutton 3rd, Hill 4th, Cook 5th, Pearson in 6th. Morgan 7th, Ingram 8th, Holstead 9th. Smiley takes 10th position. Smiley goes now 7th with a 51.6. Ingram down 9th position. JT, this is not looking great. He's getting traffic as well. Tom Ingram, our championship leader, might be starting way, way back in the grid in race 1.
This could be drama. We've had drama before in qualifying from Tom Ingram. And he goes up across the line. Where does he go? He's still got one more attempt at it. He's 8th. That's not enough. He has to go again.
So the tyres are going, and Ingram might be facing disaster here. Sutton goes into 2nd. He's 3/10 off. Colin Turkington looks like he's going to try and perform the mastery of Croft again. Got pole last time out, of course. He wants to have it here again in Knockhill. Over the line for Adam Morgan. The other BMW goes 4th fastest. Hill goes 5th in the other BMW. So that puts Cook 6th. Ingram down in 9th place in the first sector. It was a 16.5. And lap time deleted as well for Ingram. So that drops him even further back down. And he's 2/10 down, but crucially inside the 4.5 tenths that would get him into the top 6. This is on board with Ronan Pearson now as he comes through Clark. Ingram only goes 7th. He missed out. He missed out by a few fraction of a second. 24 thousandths of a second has cost Ingram at the moment. He's got one more lap to try and bonanza something, but he's only got 1 second of hybrid. Here at Knockhill, that's going to be crucial. He might get kicked out here. Championship leader. Brilliant news for Turkington and Hill, and for, of course, Ash Sutton. Checking flags out. I think Ingram's gone off the track. He might have had his lap time deleted already by the stewards. I can't tell at the moment. Flags out. Who's got it? He's down, JT. 4/10. He's put... I don't think he's got it. What do you think?
We'll see as he exits the final corner. Checker flags out, so this is the final attempt. He's currently 7th. Where does he go? 7th.
Oh no, he's out. He's missed it. He's missed it. Tom Ingram, the championship leader, fails to progress to the fast 12 and will start in the back rows of the grid. 14th at best. Pearson, Smiley, Holstead's out, Pearson's out, Smiley might just go out too. Hill goes 5th. Here's Josh Cook, confirms himself 6th. Morgan confirms himself. I don't think Chris Smiley's going to do anything about it. No, he's too far down the sector times. Smiley has boxed and taken the flag now. So it's Turkington, Sutton, Chilton, Morgan, Hill and Cook to go into the fast 12 at the end of the first part of qualifying. Ingram, the championship leader, failing to progress from Pearson, Smiley and Holstead rounding out the top 10. Now, JT, that is big news.
That is big news, and I've got an update.
Go on.
I don't think the post is a thing anymore,
Oh.
which is a shame, but I found something else, Josh. I hope you're ready for Monday.
Why, what's on Monday?
Highs of 33 degrees.
Okay, I'm not being in the commentary box on Monday. That's Right, let's head back over to ITV.
Here this morning, struggling to find the quickest way through that chicane.
Could well be. Well, these are the 6 that have done it. Colin Turkington, Ash Sutton, Tom Chilton, Adam Morgan, Jake Hill and Josh Cook, the rest of the order. We lose Tom Ingram, Ronan Pearson, Chris Smiley and Nick Halstead. So drivers now will make their way either back to the paddock or, in the case of the most recent 6th, into the next part of qualifying. And this is where it's going to get busy, of course, because we'll end up with a slightly greater number of cars on track. We'll be up now to 12 of them rather than 10. And the drivers staying in cars ready to go back out. There is Ash Sutton, good to go. Dan Camish, I should say, is good to go. Not Ash Sutton, that's Dan Camish. And he's had that remarkable run of podium finishes and second places over the last few events. He wants a win, but equally he's quite happy, I think, banking points. But he's running out of options for the win because the season's coming to an end.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best circuit for him. He's not had a win here either.
No.
In his BTCC career. He's had podiums, but not a win here. Just a mention that all of the Napa Racing crew, that's just the touring cars and the minis, all their driver suits and crash helmets are currently up for auction for the charity they're supporting this weekend. So a very worthwhile cause and definitely worth a look if you fancy some as-used racewear. So everybody getting ready in the pit lane, a short turnaround time. There is time to make little changes. Remember, for some teams, this is the first time they've actually run on brand new tyres because they have carryover tyres to use in free practice, and they've been saving some for qualifying, and maybe they need to make some setup changes.
Yeah, true enough. And we saw, didn't we, at Croft, how drivers, and Tom Chilton was an example, who'd gone so well in Q1, just couldn't replicate that in Q2. I think you said something along the lines of, all he's got to do is drive that lap again, but just couldn't do it.
No. Easier said than done. It's easy for us to say it, but that'll be an unhappy Tom Chilton climbing out of that car. There'll be an inquest with Spencer Aldridge, his engineer.
Yeah, Tom Ingram frustrated for sure. And he might be willing to talk, but the frustration knowing that Ash Sutton, his championship rival, and Jake Hill, his championship rival, have both made it through. Yeah, you do get the feeling that there's something not quite right with that Hyundai, more than just a couple of seconds worth of hybrid use. However, for the rest of the teams, qualifying continues, and it is now time to look forward to Q2. 12 drivers, 10 minutes. We're looking for the top 6. There is Tom Ingram with furrowed brow, and Spencer Aldridge with his headset around his neck, looking at the data, looking at the screen, and will no doubt have some thoughts, and he and Tom will debrief and try and think positive for tomorrow. We know that Tom Ingram can battle his way through from the back when we get to racing. So he and Spencer Aldridge discuss that session, and we'll also keep an eye on what happens next in terms of who's going to be around him on the grid. The green flag is being shown, ready to get Q2 underway. So there are the cars with the busy teams cycling them through. Darrell De Leon is on his way down the pit lane. Aaron Taylor-Smith is on his way down the pit lane. Mikey Doble. So Power Max getting both cars through. 2 of the Toyotas. Tom Chilton venturing out. And as the cars set off onto the track for Q2, before we get into that, let's hear from Tom Ingram. He's with Louise.
Tom, undoubtedly a frustrating result for you. You've got virtually no hybrid here. How much is that the issue here?
I think that's the thing that we can put it down to. We knew that we were going to be around about a half a second deficit around here. We knew it was, from just the calcs that we'd done coming in, it was always going to be a 2 tenths to Jake, 3 tenths to Ash. Realistically, half a second if you've got it or haven't got it. So we knew this place was always going to be difficult, but it is what it is. Look, am I disappointed? Of course I am. Am I going to lose any sleep over it? No, because it's the reality of the situation. It is what it is. We'll have a play tomorrow and see where we end up.
The frustration of success, but I'm sure, I mean, you're going to be going all guns blazing tomorrow, so it's going to be quite spectacular, that's for sure.
Of course, yeah, there's obviously, you've got to be mindful of a couple of things around here, and keeping out of trouble is always one of them. It's a shame the car actually felt fantastic, and just watching it from behind, the car actually felt really nice. It's just that effect of the hybrid that you're always lacking that little bit, and you've got to remember that we use the hybrid effectively on 2 laps. So if you're starting your qualifying lap, you use it out of the corner to the line. So if we're saying it's 1 second that I had, it's more like 2. If we say 3 is like 6, you double it. You can deploy around about 4.5 seconds, maybe a little bit more depending on your deployment speed, out of the final hairpin to even begin your lap. So it's a big effect around here. We always knew it was going to be a big effect around here, but yeah, I'll keep a smile on my face and see what we've got tomorrow.
See you out there tomorrow.
Cheers,
Thanks.
Luke.
I say it once, I say it again. He is the nicest guy on the planet, Tom Ingram. He always has something to say nice, doesn't he, JT? Such a nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've gone into another rabbit hole.
What now?
Something that we're going to have a little bit of fun with. Hopefully, they'll do it after they have to do it after because it collides with other races. The Crazy Kart Championship.
Ooh.
And I'm looking back at what they did at Croft. They kind of had a little bit of fun with inflatables, dinosaurs, bananas, beats balls, and Daryl de Leon came on top.
Oh, that's new.
Dan Zelos from one of the support categories, second, but Scott Sumpton third.
Scott into third. Dodgy's a good racer. Oh, I say. By the way, if you're trackside at Knockhill and are staying until around about 7 o'clock this evening, if you want to pay £5 to walk the track with all the drivers and everybody else in the paddock, you can do for the race against dementia. So that is tonight at 7 o'clock here at the circuit. You can walk the whole track, and the drivers will stop at each corner and tell you more about how to get through it as a racing driver. So it's worth your bob if you're down there as well at Knockhill. So Hill on a 54.273 with Morgan second, Turkington's third, De Jong is fourth, Cook fifth, Sutton sixth. And then further down in this Fast 12 session, we've got Doble, Taylor Smith, Watson, Camish, Chilton and Rowbottom. Now I'm expecting Robo to jump through and get into this top of the session because he was so fast in practice 1 and 2 this morning. Jake Hill's looking good again as we look at Robo coming down in towards McIntyre. Yeah, it's all looking good, isn't it, at the moment, JT? I think Hill's got a shot, but so has Rowbottom. That Napa looking fast this weekend.
Yeah, Rowbottom getting as close to the barrier on the inside of the chicane as he can, even brushing it. I saw it move a little bit as he continues to circulate up through his locks towards the hairpin. Rowbottom goes. Morgan, purple sector 1 with the first fast lap of the session. Cook takes that away.
And Morgan, first sector is better, but as you said, Cook's got that one. Second sector for Turkington, 19.751. Third sector is a bit improved as well. Let's see then, across the line. Remarkable, you can get 3 sectors out of this entire lap, really. As Morgan does a second fastest time, it's Hill fastest though, 51.186. Turkington really does want to go quick, doesn't he, here? And so does Cook, so De Jong goes up to 5th. Sutton could face elimination here and start 7th on the grid, but Watson has just beaten him in the Toyota. 3 seconds down, so they're still doing lap time. Sutton now goes 5th, 51.501. Rowbottom just waiting to come up now as well. It seems like they're all still on their outlaps, but 10 minutes is really not that long, and really not that long here at Knockhill. Into the gravel, big slide. Does he save it? Yes, he does for Daryl de Jong, who nearly went off again and almost lost it to the barrier as well. Same place as when he went 2 wheels earlier, yeah.
I've sent you a photo of that moment in Touring Car Chat, Josh. It's pretty
I
good.
got it, and it's going to be a thumbnail for tomorrow's races. Can't not.
I'm wait. There'll probably be more when all of the photos are processed on the Touring Car Gallery and on social media, because you have to take the camera home to like process them all.
Yeah. Always good to get images for next year as well. And that Touring Car Media Centre is always busy. Look at the front brakes on Robo's car, down Rowbottom as well. The rear was stepping up down into Taylor's hairpin as Taylor Smith goes into third. Rowbottom's fourth. Is he going to improve any better as he comes across the line? Timing tyres out of sync. Rowbottom goes third. 51 as well. Lap time cancelled for Dal de Jong for track limits. Well, we knew that was coming, didn't we? Kind of wasn't going to get around that so quickly. Turn 6 track limits. Oh, and 32 as well. Rowbottom lap time deleted for track limits. So that puts Alan Taylor Smith back up into third position. But then Rowbottom's come through. Watson's come back through. Tank slapper there, JT. Yeah. That car keeps changing liveries. Third livery of the year. Turkington's getting a bit too close for comfort towards the wall there. Just hold it together.
When is he not, to be fair?
Fair point. Oh, hello, someone's in the gravel.
Oh, would you look at that? It's Dal de Leon again.
It's always Dal de Jong through that gravel trap. It's the third time in this qualifying hour that he's gone through that gravel trap at the exit of turn 6, coming in down towards Clark's.
Well, I think he's taken the touring car Drive to Survive style title a little bit too seriously.
Yeah. Rallying to survive. Sutton gets a good exit out the top of the hill. Camish still on the cusp. He's P7. Sutton down in P11 at the moment. So 2 of the 4 championship contenders really having an awful weekend here. Really are struggling like crazy. Let's see how it goes though. Over the hills. Turkington with a 50.949. Cook in second. Watson third. Taylor Smith fourth. Rowbottom fifth. Hill 6th position. So holding that one together nicely. Don't think Camish is having that middle sector he wants. It's down again on those sector times. There's no real improvement coming with a minute 10 to go.
We saw this last time out in Croft. It just kind of, the end of the session, just like slowly just came like a minute before the end because no one was improving.
Well, Josh Cook's coming to the pit lane, so he's done. Morgan's jumped up into second place, and this is Dal de Jong's next accident. Oh, hang on, is it Sutton? Over one curb, over again, 2 wheels. It wasn't, well, Sutton just goes 2 wheels. It wasn't Sutton through the gravel. So Cook...
Took a lot of curb, though.
Cook's got a problem. Josh Cook's got a problem. So there he is with the laptop out. So it looks like Cook might be in trouble with that year-old Toyota that they've got. Checkered flags out shortly in about 30 seconds' time. Jake Hill, 7th at the moment, goes across the line and doesn't improve. Half a second down. So nobody is having their times out there, but Hill's got free air. I don't understand why it's changing so much. There's no rain out there. It's just not getting any sectors. Oh, he's flying through the chicane. Okay, did you hear the scratch?
Yeah, we brushed the barrier. Just the tiniest bit.
Morgan comes into the pit lane. Rowbottom goes 6th. Cook's already in the pit lane, so 3 of the 6 already sort of decided. Taylor Smith goes 5th. No improvement, and no one's improving on the timing screen. Big luck up on the inside front right for Jake Hill as he comes into the Taylor's hairpin. Up towards the line he comes in the laser tools with MB Motorsport BMW. Does he break through? No, he does not. Another championship contender fails to get through. And Dion goes 9th. Chilton goes into 10th position as a result. But I don't think Sutton's going to improve either. So Ash Sutton has a poor qualifying. So really, the one in the championship who's going to benefit from this is the guy we all wrote off after the first 5 races. It's Colin Turkington coming back with a masterclass. He's the only one of the top 4 in the championship who's going to progress to the Fast 6. Unbelievable. Sutton's 12th, and it's a possible 13th on the grid coming for Tom Ingram. Wow.
So Sutton versus Ingram once again, just not at the
Yes.
front of the field.
No, in the mid-pack, which is easily quite dangerous in Knockhill as well. Involved in a lot of accidents down there. Top 6 then, Turkington, Morgan, Cook, Watson, Taylor Smith and Rowbottom go through. Hill, Camish, Chilton, Doble, De Jong and Sutton out of it as we go into the Fast 6 coming up shortly. So let's hand over to ITV while we wait for that Fast 6.
Josh Cook, third quickest, he will make it through his third visit to Q3. Andrew Watson will also go through, and that is his second appearance, the previous one only being at Donington. Fifth, Aaron Taylor Smith, he makes it through, and that's his second visit to the top 6, and the other driver is Dan Rowbottom, and for Dan that is his fourth visit to Q3. Colin Turkington, Adam Morgan, Josh Cook, Andrew Watson, Aaron Taylor Smith, Dan Rowbottom progress. We lose Jake Hill, Dan Camish, Tom Chilton, Mikey Doble and Daryl De Leon and Ash Sutton. Seeing that we haven't said this all year, let's just see if I can construct the sentence. Ash Sutton is out of qualifying before Q3.
Yeah.
Feels unnatural to say it.
It does unnatural, but this circuit was always going to favour those with a lot of hybrid, more than any other circuit. And it's no surprise that when we look at the top 6 that are left in this, nobody has less than 9 seconds of hybrid.
Yeah.
Cook has 9, Turkington has 11, ATS, Aaron Taylor Smith has 13, Morgan and Robo have 15 seconds each. So those with the hybrid are the ones that have progressed.
So we knew that this format was going to give us interesting qualifying results, and it's been proved again. There is Daryl De Leon going through the technical checks, and his session done. But he's got himself to sort of mid-grid, which is a good result for one of the underdog teams.
Absolutely, he's been driving the wheels off that car.
Yeah.
Really good. Perhaps too many trips outside the track limits at the chicane, but he's really done well.
So the car will be released back to the team, which is at the other end of the pit lane. So we now know which 6 drivers we need to concentrate on for this final part of qualifying. A reminder, Colin Turkington, Adam Morgan, Josh Cook, Andrew Watson, Aaron Taylor Smith and Dan Rowbottom. They are the 6 drivers that will go through. So for the first time this season, no Ash Sutton in Q3. Question, Louise, is why?
Well, I'll put that very question to him. The guys are just saying first time this season that we haven't seen you through to Q3. What was the issue? Was it a hybrid thing, or I saw the guys looking at the engine earlier on in the session? Maybe there was something going on there?
Yeah, no, there wasn't anything in that department. We had a small issue that they were just resetting in Q1, but yeah, I'm as surprised as you are, based on the fact that we were doing 51.1s in FP2 on used tyres. We put new tyres on and we've gone 4/10 slower. It's a bit of a backward step for sure, but maybe it's just the hybrid coming into full effect. You don't know. Obviously, Tom didn't make it out of Q1. Me and Camo are the sort of next few rivals. Obviously, I know Jake's made it through, but it favours a bit of a real drive car here. Whether it's that, whether it's a hybrid, I don't know, but it makes tomorrow a little bit more interesting, doesn't it?
Was the car feeling different?
It wasn't. This was what we were just discussing on the radio. The car felt really nicely balanced, really good. Just no lap time come from it. So every now and again you get that from a race car. They've got their own mind sometimes, but look, we'll evaluate it as a team because it looks like Camo had a similar sort of issue, and we'll go from there.
See you out there later.
Cheers, thank you.
So Ash Sutton, a bit like Tom Ingram, being as upbeat as he can be, but already they'll start to think about, as you mentioned earlier on, tyres, reverse engineer the weekend. How can they make the maximum out of what's a not terribly prepossessing grid position? But even so, he's better off than Ingram because he made it through one extra element, so he's further up the grid anyway.
Yeah, and you know, here as much as anywhere, probably more than, being mid-grid is a difficult place to race in. There's a lot of action, a lot of potential for problems. I mean, we're guaranteed an interesting grid and some fantastic racing tomorrow. I'm already looking forward to it already.
Hold that thought for 9.5 more minutes, because we just need to work out the front 3 rows effectively. Andrew Watson flicks the car sideways out of Duffer's Dip. There's Colin Turkington going through. And Dan Rowbottom is on track as well. So 10 minutes, 6 cars. This determines the order at the front. Everybody else, of course, you take the order of those that didn't progress out of Q2. That's the next part of the grid. And then it's the order of those that didn't make it out of Q1 to finish off the grid. So we know how much of it will form, but not necessarily as yet the first 6 places on this grid. Andrew Watson then for Toyota Gazoo Racing, you're looking at heading down to the hairpin.
I think Colin Turkington has a really good chance here because the way the circuit is now with those curbs and chicane, it rewards a really smooth, precise driving style. He's got 11 seconds of hybrid, virtually the maximum you can actually use around here. It is a good rear-wheel drive circuit as well. All the cards are lining up very nicely for Colin. Let's see if he can deliver it.
Absolutely, as the final part of qualifying is underway. Had to just help. The new Sky Sports Plus got activated today with all the European football match leagues games, and Grimsby's one of them.
It's good, isn't it?
It's so good. But Grimsby's, the only game to be affected by a technical fault was Grimsby's. So I just had to go and make sure that Dad got it back. So Dad's got it back, so he's watching it. But yeah, that's annoying. But hey, that is so good, isn't it, having all those football matches on? I love it, finally.
I have just seen the next phase of Grid Network.
Looks
it
great,
looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe's been very happy with that, with the Grid Network. It's a complete rebrand and it feels more professional, he said, and he really, really likes it. You haven't seen half the graphics.
Everyone has cooked.
Yeah. You haven't seen the graphics. You wait for those new graphics to properly come through. Like, we've got a new intro, we've got new slides, new feel, new music, everything. Total revamp for Grid. So next year, JBMotorsports going to have some new graphics as well for intros. New intro.
Again, this is the first time I'm hearing of this.
Well, you know the one we have now?
Yeah.
With the blue and yellow background and all that lot? That's going to be removed, and it'll be a different background with a new flashier JB Motorsports intro. But the channel colours will still be blue and yellow.
Well, I hope so.
They are, don't worry. Blue and yellow are like two of my colours that I've always raced with throughout the entirety.
I
of my life.
I don't really want to rip half the wall paint, the paint on the wall off to change the panels after 6 months of them being on.
Don't worry, it stays blue and yellow. Now, first lap times coming through at real pace, and that was Rowbottom with a 51.045, but he's going faster still in that first sector with a 16.402, and the second sector at a 19.956. Again, another personal best. Rowbottom is cooking this weekend. Who's got ahead of him? Turkington. Oh, that's reassuring. Turkington crosses the line, starts his lap time. 55.043. It's a 50.970 for Rowbottom. Fastest time of the weekend so far. Insane.
That is incredible.
Rowbottom is just taking it all at ease. And he wasn't... lap time cancelled for Rowbottom. That last lap time has been cancelled by the stewards. Track limits. So, it was lap 4. Turn 6, it says. But that time has now been deleted by the stewards, yes. But he's still on provisional pole, of course, with a 51.045. But that last lap time of 50.970 has been deleted by race control. Colin Turkington is going even faster, and he's got 4 seconds of hybrid power to use as he pushes the button up the hill. Morgan, 50.982. Turkington, a 50.862. Wow! Turkington just
We were
flies
denied
everywhere.
a sub 51, but then Turkington said, nope.
Get 2 for the price of 1. Fantastic. 4.5
Now
minutes
will
to
the
go.
stewards delete this one?
I was just looking at that on the timing screens. John Young signs John Young. That's quite interesting because, yeah. Oh, wow. So that's slightly funny there. I'll have to tell Jess about that. Not Bull, another Jess. Right, there's Adam Morgan. This is Colin Turkington. Now watch the lock-up into turn 1 and the 2-wheel drift. Wow. That wheel was still locked when it came back down to ground. Robo's hit something. the front right hand. Hang on a minute. Yeah, front right from our side of it. Look. Do you see? It looks like he's hit something. Has he hit that tyre barrier?
Maybe.
Napa, he's got loose body panels, isn't it? Remember back to Alton Park as well, where everyone was practically aiming at the Napas just to take them out of the race. That tyre stack has been moved at turn 5 as well on the uphill entry, so it wouldn't surprise me. Track now at 17 degrees, air temperature at 15, and a lot is improving. Watson in 4th now, estimated the computer, 6th at the moment. Oh, but he locks up. Go on.
17 degrees air temperature for Knockhill. That is hot for Knockhill.
It is hot for Knockhill as well. Get the barbecue out as well as we come across the line. Watson doesn't improve. I just saw Jeff Dodds, CEO of Formula E, standing on the pit wall there, which has caught me by surprise. Must be here just for a bit of entertainment. Why not? On a weekend off. Touring cars do things very differently, of course, to any other series. I say that, they've copied IndyCar's qualifying format, haven't they? It's a bit of a joke, isn't it? They've literally carbon copied IndyCar's qualifying. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, but it's, instead of the fast 60 in 6 minutes, it's 10 minutes. They've tweaked it, they've adapted it to touring cars, but yes, it is a copy.
I've just got a text from Mal saying, haha, thanks Josh, I appreciate you, because I sent some positive words after her getting taken out in the WCR race earlier on as well. Maddie, if you're watching, how hard did Simon punch the table? And knowing Maddie, she's been swearing all afternoon as well. 3 down.
I was impressed by that still from that video that I got.
Oh yeah, so was I. I saw the uploads you sent over there. Yeah, by the way, the sort of vlog, sort of mashed together with everything of a home movie, that's going to be out next week. Just going to see if I can actually upload the WCR, you know, the World Bikes has talent bits, because of course it's karaoke music. I really hope I can, because a full 5.5 minutes of Mallory singing is like, yeah, it's fantastically funny. Final minute then, Taylor Smith out to 2nd, and he's 35 thousandths of a second down on Turkington. So now Aaron is getting into the swing of things. Fastest first sector of all, so watch that. And a lap time deleted for Watson for track limits. Great. Don't know where though. Turn 6, it says on our computer monitor. Look at Turkington, 2 thousandths of a second up on his own best time. Are we going to see a difference? Firing in towards the line in the last 30 seconds. Is Colin Turkington going to take another pole position? Number 51 crossed the line, and he goes 2 tenths down, but still on provisional pole. No one else improving so far. Personal best for Robots in sector 2, but that doesn't improve him. I think that might be it, you know, JT. We might have had the last cookie.
Yeah, 5 seconds until the checkered flag is out. No one is improving that I can see. Watson, who's just gone through the chicane now on a yellow sector 1, so he's not improving. He should start 6th. Just waiting for everyone else. Robotham also on a yellow sector, and I think that is it.
Yeah, they've all got to take the flag, of course, so the first one to do so will be Colin Turkington. And actually, no, he's braked to let Watson go through to not let him have a lap time deleted. So Watson will take the flag. Turkington will be 2nd. Watson stays 6th. Turkington dives into pit lane. Robotham comes across the line. He stays there as well in 4th. Josh Cook stays 5th. Morgan comes across the line for pit lane, stays 3rd. And Aaron Taylor Smith will stay in 2nd position, but as top independent. Best result qualifying for Aaron Taylor Smith of the year in 2nd, but it is yet another pole position for Colin Turkington, who has mastered every session he's been a part of here in qualifying today. It's 2nd for Taylor Smith, Morgan's 3rd, Dan Rowbottom of topped practice 1 and 2, only goes 4th here. Cook is 5th and Watson P6. That's an interesting top 6, JT, for tomorrow. Alan Taylor-Smith going from 2nd and Colin Turkington from pole. Not a bad day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely going to be an interesting 3 races tomorrow. We've got a couple of big names starting in the midfield. Will they get caught up in some shenanigans? Will Darrell de Leon keep it on the track in the chicane tomorrow? We will have to see. The wind still.
Yeah. Picking up massively. So it's Colin Turkington, Alan Taylor-Smith, Adam Morgan, Dan Rowbottom, Josh Cook, and Andrew Watson. Let's go to ITV.
And the margin just 35 thousandths of a second between Colin Turkington and the opposition. Turkington has driven through the pit lane, so he's on his way round the back of the race control building and the pit building there, down towards Parc Fermé. And you can see the rest of the teams then heading for their cars to cycle those back to the paddock before the circuit is given over to the support race teams. There is Adam Morgan, who ends up 3rd at the end of the session. But again, with lots of hybrid, perhaps you could say, well, so we should.
Yeah, well, I think you should. Yeah, definitely. But that's a good, I did think that was on for Colin. His last pole position here was 2021, and he went on to win the race 1 as well. That was his last win here, actually. So he's got to be a favourite for that.
Well, there is Colin Turkington then. 3rd pole of the season and 30th pole of his illustrious British Touring Car Championship career. His pole winner's water bottle presented to him on the roof of the car. There'll be the obligatory photographs with thumbs up or the P1 sign. And by a tiny margin, says Louise Turkington, it's pole position. So a happy driver, a happy team, and a happy dad, I think, somewhere down there as well. Saw Trevor Turkington, yes, just over Colin's right shoulder in the background. Right, so Colin Turkington for pole position. We'll hear from him very shortly. Aaron Taylor-Smith 2nd. He will get to the Parc Fermé area shortly as well. And Adam Morgan for 3rd. So 2 BMWs, but well done again to Evans Halshaw, Power Max Racing and Aaron Taylor-Smith. But it's Colin Turkington then on pole position. And once he stops celebrating, Louise, he's all yours.
Yeah, just rightfully taking the plaudits from the team as well. Congratulations, Colin. 2 on the bounce, but a 30th career pole in the BTCC. Well done.
Yeah, nice round number. My BMW felt really good there, Louise. It's always qualifying's the first time you put new rubber on in the session, and I think we just got it right today. It's you go into these qualifying sessions and you just hope to make it out of Q1. You see the end result and I'm on pole, but the mentality at the start is I hope we get through Q1 because you just don't know where the pace is going to be. But my car was really hooked up and we just chipped away each session and probably found a 10th. So the guys told me it's super close between myself and Aaron. So not much left. Not much left in my car. So yeah, great start to the weekend.
We could see Louise just saying to you that was so close. Were you aware of that inside the car?
No.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, maybe so. It's a fine line because I knew I was top of the timesheets, but then how much do you risk it going for another lap that's even quicker? Everything's already on the edge. It's a big risk to try and go and find another 10th. So you're almost circulating, waiting on the call, saying, okay, you're P2, you need to go again, but that call never came. So yeah, delighted, and Adam's, P1, P3, so yeah, great qualifying.
It looked like you were thinking about it at one point because you were seriously pushing hard. I mean, a big lock-up at one stage.
Yeah, I think, I tried to go again and lock up into turn 1 from memory. Again, that's just what I said. You start the lap trying to sneak a bit more, and it wasn't there. As soon as I locked the right front, then that lap is gone. And to be honest, that probably compromised the rest of my session a bit because, well done, mate. Because a bit of vibration on the front right, so every time I would sort of push again, I would catch it somewhere else on the lap. So yeah, enough was enough. I knew not to do anything silly and throw it away.
You've got to look a little way down the field to find the guys who are in the championship fight. I can't remember exactly where Jake qualified, but Ash out of the top 6, Tom way down there. So it's about making hay whether we get sunshine or not tomorrow, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's You know, tomorrow's obviously a completely different day, but this is how this championship goes. You know, you see a pattern evolving, and you know, certain drivers getting to the front and sort of staying there, and then the second half of the season, weird things happen. You know, it just the whole thing flips, and different people appear at the front. So we probably expected something like that. You know, having some hybrid really helps coming off the start finish line. So yeah, for sure. I think the sun will shine tomorrow, so yeah, I plan to capitalise, yeah.
Well done. We will see you out there tomorrow. So I can just see Aaron Taylor-Smith is having a chat with somebody else at the moment. So let's dive in and grab a word with Adam. Colin was just telling us, congratulations, by the way, on the result. Colin was just telling us his car felt really nice there. I'm guessing yours was pretty on song as well.
Yeah, it felt really good. You know, it's a huge credit to everyone behind me. They've worked really hard. We were kind of scratching our head a little bit after FP2. The track's changed quite a lot with these new chicanes, and I think last year you could see that people who attack the curve were really quick, whereas now it's the opposite. You try and avoid it and try and get a good run through it. So yeah, FP2 I came away a little bit downbeat, but we did something to the car on the rear, and it worked really well. So mega happy for myself and Colin up there at the front. So hopefully we'll carry that through to tomorrow.
How much of a recalibration has it been for you and for everybody else in terms of the way that you attack, or, as the case may now be, don't attack that chicane?
Well, I mean, don't tell Gordon, but I think he's ruined it by having that big chicane. You know, as drivers, we all love attacking that chicane and just flying all the way through it, and you can't do that now. So I think don't tell him, but it's still one of the best tracks to drive. You know, as drivers, we always love coming here because it's a different type of track to any other, and it's just such good fun, and I had a few hairy moments in that one then, so I'm happy I brought it back in one piece and we're up at the sharp end.
Well, and what are your thoughts? What can you do with that sharp end start when it comes to racing tomorrow?
I think being in P3, me and Colin are kind of on the flats near the front, so hopefully we can get a good jump off the line, and I'll be more than happy to stare at Colin's bum the entire race.
Well done, well done. Right, we need to have a little wander round now, and it's a little bit tight here in this park firm at Note, where I'm going to have to do a little push past. Apologies to Alan Hyde as I dash past him. But as a man up here I want to get to have a chat to, so I'm just going to butt in and say a huge congratulations. That was so close, wasn't it? You were almost right on the pole, but front row start.
I don't know what's going on here, to be honest. I looked down at the dash and I was like, wait a second. That seems very fast. So I'll just, then I backed off and I did another lap and it went slightly quicker again. So no, I think even like to be in contention for challenge for poles against these manufacturer teams is something that I think everyone at Evans Halshaw and Powermax should be so proud of. I found it's just easier if I just drive faster. Because like I've been getting advice the whole time of just drive the car faster, and it seems to work. So it's just clicked, and for whatever reason, we seem to be on a bit of a roll at the moment.
You absolutely are. I feel like we're having lots of conversations, which is a really good thing to be happening.
We're kind of best mates now. Haven't seen you for about 15 years.
You're back, you're back. And what can you do with this car? I mean, we've seen it's obviously a very good qualifying car. What's it going to be like as a race car?
I think we learned a lot at Croft going from qualifying to race one. That now puts us in a much better position. So I probably like detuned the car a little bit with the team for race one at Croft. Now we know we don't have to, so I feel I can push on in this race, and if I can stick it to Colin, I will. You know, I want to try and get this team a win again and see what we can do. But around here, being at the front is a huge advantage. You know, it's so tight, it's so twisty. Just having a bit of clean air will make a world of a difference.
Well done, congratulations.
No, thank you. Oh, sorry, Oakley's at home probably watching this on TV, so I just want to say I love you, and I'll see you tonight.
There you go. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Louise. Well done.
Thanks, Lou. I don't think Aaron Taylor-Smith is used to talking to Louise Goodman. He's having to, satisfied talking to the likes of me in media centres as well. So, tomorrow we are live as well from 11:30 for the action. Rounds 19, 20 and 21 will also have the Legends races tomorrow. That ITV show will stay on air and have a bit of fun and come on air early for them as well. Why not? Have a bit of fun. The Legends have been really racking up a lot of action, a lot of interest across this year of the touring cars. They are ace as well. And also, we're just trying something ahead of possibility of next year, see what we can add to it as we launch our third channel as well, which we're keeping the name shush to at the moment because we've yet to get the act. JT, your thoughts on that qualifying session just happened?
It was a good qualifying session. Darryl De Leon, I guess a little bit of a couple of two-wheel moments. And hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow, but I won't be surprised if it does for Darryl De Leon. Even Al Sutton getting a little bit two wheels as well. Keep an eye on the midfield tomorrow because there's a lot of big names. Sutton, Hill and Ingram all down there. And I hate to be that guy, Adam Morgan, but I've got a feeling that Gordon will be watching this back.
He is going to be, isn't he, as well, Gordon Shedden. Thanks, JT. Nick Homewood joins us in the comm box tomorrow as well for the 3 races. Thanks for your company there today, JT, and to all of you at home as well. It is, again, another pole position for Colin Turkington. Can he dominate in the races tomorrow here? Find out when we restart at Knockhill. Bye-bye.